start with, from District 81, James Ryan O'Hara.
How's everybody doing today? My name is James Ryan O'Hara. I'm running for the Florida House of Representatives for District 81, which due to redistricting is a little bit different because of all the changes. It used to be District 78, but now it changed the numbers to District 81, and it covers everything on western Palm Beach County, west of the Turnpike. And it goes all the way north to Wellington, to Lake Worth Road, and then it goes all the way out to Belgrade, Pahokee, and Lake Okeechobee. So that gives you a little background of what the differences in the district are. Now, I decided to run for the Florida House because, just like many of you, I've seen what's happened to the economy this last couple of years and how far and how bad things have gotten. And I graduated recently, 2009, when I finished college, and I moved back down here from UCF, and I went right into the middle of this economy that was really destroyed. So I looked to my elected officials and saw that there wasn't much going on happening in Tallahassee, so I decided that we're fed up and we need something done here, we need solutions to the problems, and I decided to get in the race and run, and that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. David Litron. Florida's legislature has applied accountability measures like the FCAT and standardized end-of-course exams to students in schools, and now to determine teacher pay and retention. Are you in favor of the FCAT and teachers' merit pay, or would you make changes?
I'm also a Republican, but I also don't like the FCAT as a student who had to once take it. I remember it really well. I don't believe we should base the teacher's pay solely on how kids do on standardized tests, especially one as flawed as the FCAT, which really doesn't accomplish everything that it should. I am a supporter, though, of merit pay. As someone who's run a small business and managed a small business, we base all our pay in a business off merit, of how you do, how successful you are, and how you go about getting increases in pay. I believe we should hold teachers to the same standard. I don't think we should have teachers that are failing or not teaching our students the way they should, yet continue to hold a position or continue to get pay raises just because they're there. I don't think that's the proper way to go. I think there's a lot more reforms we could do as far as the merit pay legislation goes, and as far as the law. I'm totally supportive of getting rid of the FCAT completely and getting another kind of system, maybe a multiple type test system where we can be tested on different levels so we can find out exactly how the students are doing, and not just tie the funding of a school solely to how the students do on one single test. I think that needs to be reformed as well. But I am a supporter of teacher merit pay. Thank you.
Thank you. What role, if any, do you believe that the state of Florida should play in the decisions that women make about their own reproductive health? James?
I also think women's rights should be protected. Me personally, I'm a Catholic, I'm pro-life, but I don't think the government needs to come in and tell you exactly what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and should legislate women's rights. I do think, though, that the government does have a role when it comes to protecting certain people's rights. And when it comes to, an underage, a minor woman going to get an abortion, something like that, I don't believe she should be able to do it without parental consent. I believe the family should always be involved in all those kinds of decisions. So I believe we have to do protections. And I also don't believe that tax-paying dollars should go to any person's abortion. I wholeheartedly believe that. I think that's your responsibility to pay for it, find some way to pay for it, either through a charity or some other organization. But I don't think someone's tax-paying dollars, either federal or state, should go towards that. Thank you.
Believe that there are parts of the Florida infrastructure that need attention, and if yes, what should be infrastructure improvement priorities, and how can we pay for them?
Well, I definitely think we should fund infrastructure, and there's no doubt about that. That's something that needs to be funded. But we have to realize also that every single day you guys are funding infrastructure. When you get your FPL bill or your energy bill, and it's got little taxes added onto it and little fee increases that FPL increases, all that money goes into building infrastructure that FPL needs to build. And so they're taxing you, the people, every time they're trying to go to that. So no matter how much money we raise in the state government, we say we're going to fund it by this much or that much, they're always finding a way to tax you to get it anyway and build their own infrastructure is built up. As far as federal highway systems and roads, the federal highway system is funded mostly by the federal government. It's where we get most of our money to take care of those. Otherwise, if we pay tolls on other roads that we go through, if everyone's ever been to the Orlando area, there's toll roads all over the place. But it's always funny how the toll roads are always there, but the toll roads never leave. They always tell us that, oh, we're just going to give you tolls until the road's paid off for the construction, and then the toll sits on there for 35 years, and it never ends. It just keeps increasing and increasing and increasing. So I think we're throwing a lot of money into infrastructure. We do need to fund it properly, but we don't just sit there and raise taxes on people to fund it even more. I think we need to look at where the revenue is right now, where it's being spent and how we can make it spent more effectively so we can keep our roads and bridges the way they need to be, funded properly, without having to raise people's
She's gonna
taxes.
start beating you up in a second, thank you. Okay. Under Governor Bush, Florida passed the Florida Access to Civil Legal Assistance Act, which for the first time provided funding for legal services to the poor. As you know, Governor Scott has twice vetoed funding for this bill. What is your position on this bill, which assists, among other things, victims of domestic violence and people facing foreclosure?
I'm a big supporter of legal aid, actually. I really think it's a beneficial program, needs to be funded. I've actually seen the need for it. I mean, I'm not a person who comes from independent wealth by any means. I think our legal system has gotten overly expensive. Things to hire a lawyer and go to even fight small, tiny little cases that you don't even want to deal with that cost tremendous amounts of money. And so people who are lower income, who don't have those means to go out and spend thousands of dollars on a lawyer anytime that something happens, some kind of litigation, the legal aid system does come in and help those people when they are in need. So I think it is a valuable program, especially since government's partly responsible for the increases in cost of our legal system. I think they should partly fund a legal aid system to help protect people who can't afford to go through all the hoops that they make you jump through. So that's my opinion on that.
What can you suggest to help small businesses? Yes, Mike. What can you suggest to help small businesses in Florida?
I run a small business, and I can tell you that a lot needs to be done to help small businesses. This economy that we've had suffered the last couple of years has decimated many, many small businesses throughout the state. If you travel up and down the state, you'll see businesses closing their doors every single day. And there's a lot of talk you hear up here at the panel about getting revenue to pay for different programs. Well, we don't have a state income tax in the state of Florida. Much of the revenue that comes into the state budget comes from small businesses and companies because they're the ones paying for all the permits, all the fees, all the taxes that go to fund the government. So if we don't have small businesses being successful, being able to hire people, fix the unemployment situation, then they're not going to be able to pay all those fees and all those taxes that everyone wants everybody to pay to fund all these wonderful programs that we're talking about funding. So we really need to look at tax relief and make the small business navigation to make small business more successful. The burdens of permitting and all that, we need to bring all that down, bring taxes down, help our small business owners so they can hire people on and bring people back and try to restore our economy and rebuild Florida.